Welcome to our aviation artwork tributes to aircraft and airlines that are no longer around. Each one is created from a photograph I took or from a model aircraft. We spent many years trying to create tributes. As technology improved, it became a bit easier. However, it does need extra work. For example, the registration had to be added and some detailed pixel work on the undercarriage. We have spent time on military aircraft as well. There will be many more in future videos. This C-47A Skytrain, nicknamed Buzz Buggy, was a notable World War II transport aircraft assigned to the 81st Troop Carrier Squadron in 1944. The artwork was created from a scale drawing of the proposed model created by In-Flight 200. Each artwork specifically focuses on an airline or aircraft model that is no longer in operation, preserving its memory. This BEA Vanguard sits in the light snow. A model was used to generate the image. The secret is to write a detailed prompt to get a realistic result. Then the work starts with checking for small errors, checking that the created image is as good as you can make it. We share our work with a retired pilot and even an engineer before you get to see it for critical feedback. Here's a warmer example featuring a beloved classic DC-3 aircraft, Qantas Empire Airways in the Outback. Notice all the details we put into capturing its essence. The clothing worn and the Outback Airport fit with our research. This will be an In-Flight 200 model in die-cast, due for release later this year. The next photo you will see is the drawing we used to create this image. Unfortunately, we did not retain the prompt text, but we will do this on future videos. This is the drawing, and you can see why we have to sit down and write a very detailed prompt. The more detail you put in, the better the results will be. We do try many times. It is like writing a book. You need a good storyline and vision. This British United VC-10 is an aircraft I have seen many times. It was later flown by British Caledonian Airlines. This was the result of a merger between BUA and Caledonian. One thing in aviation is that you can go for a coffee break and come back, and the aviation world has already moved on in that short time. This is why we are creating these tributes. Malcolm, the founder of Airspotters.com, has sat in the pilot seat of this aircraft when it was in a hangar at London Gatwick. There were fewer strict rules for airports in the 1960s. Mind you, he did say he was being given the tour by a senior Gatwick police officer. He was a neighbour living across the road, which made it easy to arrange. We have two gentlemen standing very formally dressed. They must be management. High-vis jackets were not widely worn in the 1960s and early 1970s. Looking back at many photos Malcolm has taken at that time, they do show this. It was normally a boiler suit with the airline's logo on the top pocket. They might be white in some cases, but many were dark colors to hide the grease and grime of working on the aircraft. Passengers must not be alarmed when looking out the aircraft window before pushback. Once these images are enlarged and framed, they do make a nice wall feature for the aviation enthusiast. However, please do consult with other family members first, who may not be so keen. This photo is not real, and we do not want you to think it is. It purely demonstrates what can be achieved. Malcolm had a few of these images as poster-sized prints. They do look nice, but he has yet to frame any. Besides that, his wife Angela would surely put her foot down as to where they could or couldn't be hung. Malcolm has created an animation of this BEA Vanguard. It may not be 100% perfect, but it looks very good to me. Now, for something a bit more modern, though it never actually flew. A Skymarks Virgin Atlantic. Airbus 380 is actually taking off. The video will follow this image. This is a little bit later for me, as I am retired. I did fly Boeing 747s. I will tell you more about that another time. My name is Jim, and even though this is not my actual voice, I do have a full aviation career, which I will talk about in future videos. Of course, I am always called Jimbo. Now for the short video. Now back to the Where I Belong years, the Pan American Boeing 707. We will soon create many other Pan American aircraft. Also, BOAC and British Airways are high on the list. Please comment below if you have a favourite aircraft you would like to see. At airspotters.com, Peter and Malcolm love to read your requests. By the way, also myself, Jimbo, the real Jimbo that is, I would also love to see the suggestions. I have flown lots of aircraft from DC-3s to 747s. More about that in a future video. Please also include the scene in the request. Either the aircraft is flying or landing, and of course the weather, a very important aspect of the pilot's daily agenda. Thank you for watching this short video. Remember, suggestions have to be in the past, so we can bring them back to life for you as a tribute to days gone by. The voiceover was based on a real Jimbo, who is a good friend of Malcolm and Peter. He is more than happy to share the airlines and aircraft he flew, along with a few short stories from his long flying career. For now, it's cheerio from Peter, Malcolm, Jimbo, and of course me for narrating this video. Airspotters.com is the place to go to buy these tributes and browse dozens of model aircraft.